Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a good Wednesday morning, starting off the day kind of like what we had expected, dealing with some showers and thunderstorms across central and eastern sections of the state. Again, I got woken up about probably 3 o'clock this morning, a couple loud claps of thunder, and again, seen some decent rainfall here in the capital city and across the surrounding area as well. And we're going to continue to watch for some scattered light rain as we head through the remainder of the day on your Wednesday. And we're also going to be keeping our eyes peeled on our next chance of moisture. It looks like it's going to head our way into the early part of the week next week. And again, we talked yesterday, if you watched, there are some signals, again, in the long-range forecast models that we could also be seeing a push of cold air with that moisture. And so that means we are watching for the potential for maybe our first more widespread snow event across the state as we head into the week next week. So again, that's going to be something we keep a close eye on as we head over the next several days. So again, but want to start off with a look at our November precipitation over the past 10 years here in Lincoln. November, not particularly wet month for us. On average, our 30-year average is about a little over an inch and a quarter. 130 is what we see normally in November. 10-year average is even lower than that, just 77 hundredths. If you look at the all-time average, those records going back to 1887 in Lincoln, we averaged just under a buck and a quarter. So far this month, again, with the rain that we've received so far today at the Lincoln Airport, we're at just over 2 inches of moisture. 209 is where we're at so far this November. Again, at the Lincoln Airport, again, even higher in some spots around town. And you can see over the past 10 years, that is the most that we've had in Lincoln at the airport over the last 10 years. Again, last year we had just over a half an inch. The year before that, right around a quarter of an inch. So really, again, not much the last couple of years. You have to go back to 2020. Last time we had more than an inch of moisture in November. And you have to go back to 2015. Last time we had around 2 inches of moisture. In fact, last time we had more moisture than what we've seen so far this month, you have to go back to 2004. So again, this is the wettest November we've had on record in 20 years here in the capital city. And again, these records all at the Lincoln Airport reporting location. And again, with more moisture in the forecast, especially as we head into the early part of the week next week, we are going to be keeping our eyes on this. This is the wettest Novembers on record. Again, this is liquid precipitation, so rain and the liquid equivalent of any snowfall. Again, don't know if we're going to necessarily threaten the wettest November on record. That was just over 7 inches all the way back in the early 1900s. But again, wouldn't be surprised if maybe we potentially cracked this list, or at least maybe got near the top 10. Again, if we didn't get any more moisture with the 209 that we have, I believe it would be the 25th wettest November on record. So again, some good moisture, very much needed, again, considering we were heading into November with a pretty good drought and a pretty good dry run. Again, August, September, October, we really hadn't had much of anything here in the capital city. Again, in fact, if I look at August, we had an inch and a half. September, we had 2/10. October, we ended up with just over an inch. So between those 3 months, we had, that's 2 3/4 of an inch or so of moisture, and we're already at 2 inches again just this month of November. So again, much needed moisture, will absolutely take it. So if we look at the rainfall amounts, again, according to the Tempest stations here in Lincoln, again, you can actually see kind of a swath of some heavier rainfall right across the middle parts of the Lincoln Metro. Again, here at the 1011 studios at 40th and Vine, our Tempest weather station, 67 hundredths between late last night and then through the overnight hours tonight. There were a few spots, though, in the south central, southwest part of town that received 3/4, almost up to an inch of moisture with some of the rainfall and isolated thunderstorms that we had moved through overnight. Kind of the far western side of town and the far eastern side of town, amounts were just a little bit lower. Had a few reports there between around 3 to 4/10 on the far eastern and southeastern side of town. West central and northwest side of town, around 1/4 to maybe 1/3 of an inch, and that fits because if you look at the official reporting stations at the Lincoln Airport, again, it's only reporting 21 hundredths between late last night and then through the overnight overnight hours tonight. So again, not quite as much at the Lincoln Airport compared to, again, the kind of the middle parts of town where you saw around 2/3 of an inch up to 3/4 of an inch of moisture. But again, you can see other reporting stations across the state over the last 24 hours. Big spot right now is Tacoma. They're at 0.8 of an inch, 0.6 of an inch at Omaha, just under 0.5 inch in Beatrice, 0.3 in Nebraska City, 3/500 in Falls City. Lighter amounts as you head across the central sections of the state, but at least something anywhere from around 500 to about 1,500 across the central sections of the state. So if you look at the almanac, again, that 400 that we see on there from precip for Lincoln, that was from last night, again, before midnight. Again, we've since added another 1,700 on top of that. So again, for the month, it says 192. But if we add on, again, what we had past midnight, we're at 209. So again, making a dent in that rainfall deficit. Again, we were about more than 3 inches below normal for our precip before we kind of hit this wet stretch of weather in November. Yesterday, 62 and 37 for a high and low. Again, those are both above average. 53 and 29 are our normal high and low for the day today. Again, I think we'll be a little bit closer to the 53 thanks to the clouds and rain that I think we'll see throughout the day today. Check out your weather headlines. Again, we're going to continue to watch for some scattered light rain as we head through the rest of the day today. Again, some wraparound moisture going to be possible across eastern and southeastern sections of the state. I think the bulk of our moisture, though, has likely already fallen from what we saw late last night and through the overnight hours. Past today, looking dry and warmer, fairly mild as we head into the upcoming weekend. I think the weather actually should be pretty nice, but then again, like I mentioned, we are looking at potentially more active weather returning as we head into the week next week. And again, that could be rain, and it also could be snow. Again, we'll have to continue to watch the forecast carefully over the next few days. Checking out Skyview cameras from across the state, again, you can see a lot of cloud cover, again, rain for eastern sections of the state, still dealing with some overcast skies, but drier conditions in the central part of the state, and the sun already breaking out there in North Platte, out in western Nebraska. Should see cloud cover and rain showers eventually clear out from west to east as we head through the morning and then through the afternoon hours today. Again, I think in North Platte they're going to see a good amount of sunshine as we head through the day. Right now, though, in Lincoln, again, low clouds, some areas of patchy fog. Temperatures are in the upper 40s. Visibility at the airport being reported at 6 miles with that humidity level at 93%, with just a light east-southeast wind at around 6 miles an hour. Temperatures on the Tempest weather stations across the Lincoln Metro generally sitting in the mid-upper 40s. Again, 47 here in the capital, or in at the 1011 Studios in Midtown Lincoln. Again, a lot of 47s, 46s, 48s on the map on the Tempest weather stations. If you look at temperatures across the state, anywhere from the upper 30s to the upper 40s. York right now, one of the warm spots at 50. Beatrice is at 52. Hebron is at 53 degrees. Winds, though, are breezy on the backside of this low pressure system. You can see out ahead, still have winds out of the south and southeast at around 5 to 15 miles an hour. On the back end, though, winds out of the north and northwest at around 15 to 25 miles an hour, maybe even 15 to 30 miles an hour, and seeing some wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles an hour. So as this low moves through, that wind will eventually kick up as we head through the morning. And we will see some breezy conditions at times as we head through the day today, along with those scattered light rain showers. This is the satellite and radar picture. Again, this is a 6-hour loop, so again, you can see some of the activity that moved through early this morning across the far eastern sections of the state. Again, had some isolated thunderstorms mixed in there as well. Again, like I mentioned, I got woken up about 3 o'clock, several loud claps of thunder in East Lincoln. We still have some wraparound moisture on the back end of the system. It's currently, again, west of Grand Island and Hastings, again, kind of over the Kearney area right now. This is going to continue to rotate its way through the area as well. Again, likely to bring some additional scattered light rain, but again, not quite as widespread or as heavy as I think the activity we had moved through over the last 6 hours. But again, some additional light moisture is going to be possible as we head through the morning and into the afternoon time frame. If you check out the visible satellite imagery, you can see, again, we saw the Skyview camera there in North Platte with just a few clouds, but you can see clearing skies and mainly clear skies across the western third of the state. Still see that deep snowpack that we can also see on the ground across parts of eastern Colorado as well. Again, those areas saw several feet of snow over the course of the last week, and they're still working on melting some of that off. But the clouds and the rain will continue to kind of push across the state from west to east, so we will eventually see clearing skies from west to east as we head through the day. We zoom out and look at a regional view. Again, you can see some of those scattered showers, isolated rumbles of thunder stretching across parts of western Missouri, western Iowa, and then up into Minnesota. Some of that scattered light rain still lingering into central sections of the state. Zooming out, looking at a national view, some scattered rain down across parts of Tennessee, down towards the Gulf Coast. Also some scattered rain and snow showers across the Pacific Northwest, but overall, things are fairly quiet across the continental United States. Weather alerts, there's not a whole lot of them, again, especially for us. There's a small wind advisory there across parts of central Kansas, and really, that's just about it. So again, no inclement weather necessarily expected as we head through the day today. So we check out Skycast, look for the clouds and rain to stick around as we head through the morning into the early part of the afternoon. Our in-house model tries to fill in some additional scattered rain as we head into the late morning, early afternoon hours. I think as we head towards 5 o'clock, we're still looking at maybe some lingering activity in the far eastern and southeastern sections of the state, but by 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, we should be looking at mainly clear skies for much of central and western Nebraska. Those winds will have swung around to the north and west by this time, though, and again, will likely be a bit on the breezy side for us. I think by 10 o'clock tonight, we should be looking at dry conditions with mostly clear skies across much of the state. Then as we head into the day on Thursday and Friday, we're looking at pretty quiet conditions. Plenty of sunshine, I think, as we head through the day on Thursday. Winds should be lighter for us as well. And then as we head into the day on Friday, still looking at, I think, plenty of sunshine as we start the day. Maybe a little bit of more cloud cover as we head into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, but looking at dry conditions for the day on Thursday and for the day on Friday. So if we look at the 7-day precipitation potential, this is today, again, through next Wednesday, so November 13th through November 20th. And again, the bulk of our moisture that we will see today has already fallen. So really, most of what we're seeing here is going to be moisture that we're expecting as we head into the early part of the week next week. And again, looking at a similar storm track, kind of from what we've seen over the past couple weeks, that's going to give the eastern half of the state a better shot at seeing some more substantial moisture compared to the western sections of the state. And again, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this forecast. Still plenty of time for it to change between now and early next week. But again, it looks like the eastern half of the state, again, has a chance pick up half an inch, inch and a half, maybe up to 2 inches of moisture in some spots with that storm system that's expected to move through the area early into the middle part of the work week next week. As far as temperatures go, we will be cooler and more seasonal today, again, especially in eastern Nebraska, thanks to the clouds and rain. Upper 40s to low 50s for most of the eastern half of the state. A few degrees warmer in the west, or they'll have more sunshine today with temperatures reaching the middle 50s for most of western Nebraska. Here in Lincoln, we're going to go 53, 54 in Grand Island. We'll go 56 in North Platte for the day today. Lows tonight will be chilly, upper 20s and low 30s. So again, look for a chilly start to our Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, though, we should see temperatures warm back up. Again, a little bit cooler in extreme eastern Nebraska along the river, where highs will be still in the mid to upper 50s to near 60, but most of the 10-11 coverage area looks to see high temperatures in the low to mid 60s by Thursday afternoon with plenty of sunshine. Again, chilly again into Friday morning with lows in the lower to middle 30s for most. Friday afternoon, though, continues to see fairly comfortable temperatures with low to mid 60s for the eastern half of the state. A little bit cooler in the west, but they'll still see highs in the mid to upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. Saturday morning, a little bit milder, especially for the eastern half of the state with lows in the low to mid 40s, looking at 30s in the west. Saturday afternoon, again, anywhere from the low 50s in the far west to the low to mid 60s across most of the 10-11 coverage area. 7-day forecast looks like this. Again, you can see after our rain chance today, we should be dry for the remainder of the week and really for the weekend as well. Again, Friday probably going to be our best day. Saturday still nice, but starts to get a little bit breezy. Mostly sunny skies, though. And then cooler on Sunday with variable cloudiness. We'll see mid-50s for highs, still above average. And then we start to see that chance for rain back in the forecast into Monday of next week, and that's going to continue through most of the week next week. Temperatures also cooling back from the mid-50s Sunday, Monday to the low 50s on Tuesday. And as we look at the 10-day forecast for select cities across the state, you can see it gets even cooler than that. As, again, a good chunk of the middle and even end of the work week next week, we'll be seeing high temperatures across the state in the upper 30s to upper 40s. And again, it's during this time frame that we're also going to watch for the potential for maybe some snow across the state, again, across a good chunk of the state. Still too early to say exactly with any confidence where and how much snow there could be, but again, it is something we are keeping a close eye on. So you can see cooler today, warmest stretch over the next week to 10 days. It's going to come Thursday into Thursday through Saturday, cooler than Sunday into Monday, and then that first real push of some colder air of the season arrives as we head Monday into Tuesday of next week, with highs in the upper 30s to upper 40s. Rainfall chances or precip chances, again, you can see high today. Again, any additional stuff that we do see is likely going to be fairly light. I think, again, the bulk of our rainfall has already fallen. Generally dry, though, Thursday through the weekend, and then we can see those chances for moisture returning, especially Monday into early next week, and then, again, some scattered chances continue throughout the week next week as well. So, but again, Monday will definitely be a time frame to watch. Long-range outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center, 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. Again, we were watching this. We saw some blue on it finally in Nebraska yesterday, and those areas of favored below normal temperatures have expanded to cover most of the state. So, again, this is November 20th through November 26th. So getting close to that Thanksgiving time frame, but it does look like below average temperatures would be favored across the state through that time frame, again with more above average precipitation as well. So again, below average temperatures, above average moisture, again that could spell chances for some snowfall across the state, so something we'll continue to watch. We look at the 8 to 14-day hazards from the WPC with the NWS. Again, we looked at this yesterday, not concerned with anything with excessive heat or necessarily heavy precipitation or the rapid onset of drought, but we are watching again. We saw this yesterday. They do have areas across the state outlined for at least the threat for some heavy snow through that November 20th through November 26th time frame. Again, so the high plains out onto the central plains. Again, we're at least monitoring that potential for some moisture, and that moisture could come in the form of some heavy snow. Again, still plenty of time between now and then, long time to go. This could completely change. We might not see any snow at all, but again, there is that chance for some snow that we're going to continue to watch. We're also going to continue to watch, especially through the middle part of the week next week, for the threat of some high winds across the area as well. Again, we see a slight risk really across much of the middle parts of the country, a moderate risk, so again some higher chances, higher confidence across much of the state into parts of Kansas that we could see the threat of some high winds. So again, colder, breezy, maybe some snow mixed in the forecast there, so then there's going to be a lot to look at as we continue to get closer to that time frame into the week next week. So again, a lot to keep our eyes on in the Weather Center, and we'll continue to do that, and so make sure you continue to keep it tuned to 1011 for the latest forecast details, again, especially as we get close to that busy travel season and around the Thanksgiving holiday. Hopefully the weather will be fairly quiet and make travel easy, but again, feels like more often than not that's not necessarily the case. So we'll continue to watch for some scattered light rain today. Again, I think the bulk of what we will see, though, has already fallen out there. Again, seeing rainfall totals anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch across the far eastern sections of the state, some lighter amounts in central Nebraska, but still do have some additional light rain that's out there that's expected to fall as we head through the morning and into the afternoon time frame. So keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for your latest forecast details. Appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching and hanging out with us here for a little bit. We'll again talk to you again tomorrow. So until then, hope everyone has a nice Wednesday.